Hey, it's Arker from Paper, and today I'm joined by a very special guest.
Hey, I'm Chris from Resend.
We use Resend for our emails here at Paper, so this collab's been a long time coming. Today, Chris and I are going to walk you through a real workflow. We're going to grab a Resend template from their website using Paper Snapshot, bring it into Paper, reskin it using an AI agent, and then make some manual tweaks in Paper, bring it back into Resend, and get it ready to send. Does that sound good?
Yeah, honestly, as a dev, this is game changing. You can go from blank canvas to ready to send emails in under 5 minutes. That means you can spend time on what you actually want to be doing.
I don't know, Chris. I know I've always been passionate about manually setting up webhooks.
Yeah, I'm sure. And my creativity has always shined when I'm writing out HTML tables like it's 1995.
Well, I'm sorry to take that away from you, but I think you'll come around.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Let's start designing.
Let's do it. So Chris, I'm going to start with one of the email templates from the Resend website. I think this one's Arcane Reset Your Password. I think it looks great. I'm going to copy it using Paper Snapshot. So I'm just going to select that full email here, press return to capture it. And now I can paste it directly into Paper so we can keep working off of it. See the structure and everything, it came in nicely. So now I'm going to ask my agent to take a look at this email and reskin it using my styles here. So a nice web-safe sans serif font, these colors, and my little logo here as well. I also wanted to change some content. So let's change this to be email, and I already have the prompt written. Let's go ahead and send it into Claude Code, which is the agent we're using today. You can use any agent though. So basically the prompt I said was duplicate this email template in Paper. Want to make sure we're giving context, use a particular font, use a particular colors, and then make changes like changing the name of the company from Skin to Folio and changing like little blurb here talking about the company, removing the social posts, changing the address, changing unsubscribe, doing all of that. So that's the prompt I sent. Now let's take a look what our agent has been working on. So it saw our style guide, has the colors that it wants to use now, and now it's taking a look at the full structure of the email so it knows how to duplicate it and then change the content with the changes we requested. So I might pause this and we'll come back once there's some more action in the Paper canvas. All right, so it looks like we have duplicated it now. Here we go. Obviously they look the exact same right now because this is before Claude has made any changes. And there's our background color change and our logo change. And there's our text change there. It looks like I got all of the fonts and changed, oh, it hasn't changed the content quite yet. And there we go. Content has been changed too. You can see it's updated in several different sections at the same time. Folio right there. Here's our little line. Removed the socials like we asked. And now it's taking a screenshot to review the results to make sure that it met all of the criteria that I asked and also went through Paper's little design check as well. Cool, so here is Paper's design check. Spacing looks good, typography looks good and matches what we asked for. Contrast is good, alignment, artboard fit, and repetition is all good. And then it also does a quick summary of everything we asked it to change, which looks like it hit everything. Just good to go. Now, if I wanted to keep iterating on this with AI, I could keep prompting Claude to do it, but I think I can actually make these last updates myself. Let's see, I definitely want, well, let's show our UI again. I definitely want every piece of text in this section to just be white instead. Let's change that here. And then I'm curious what this is going to look like. So if I take this entire footer section and make it this slate blue color. All right, I think this looks pretty good. This is maybe like a little bit too much padding here. This looks good. So before I pass this over back to you, Chris, I just want to make sure that the agent understands the changes that I've made manually. So can you take a look at the email template and make sure you understand all the manual changes I've made. So it's doing the screenshot again. There we go. And it knew everything. It knew that we changed those colors and it knew that everything else was left exactly how Claude said it. So that's good to go on Paper's end. Now I'm going to pass this over to you, Chris, where we can get this set up in Resend.
Thanks, Harcourt. I think it's super cool how Paper uses these web primitives because that's exactly what we're going to need in our email. So here, if you go to send an email, you can usually use like in HTML. However, you can also send what's called a template. So if I jump over here to my templates, these allow you to send along just an ID and whatever variables you happen to have. In this case, probably that password reset link. So what I can do is instead of manually doing this myself, we can simply have Claude do it. What I'll probably want to do is capture the link here so I can grab it right here. And then we'll jump back over to Claude. And I'm just going to say, make this a resend template. And I'll simply pass it the file name. I didn't even spell it correctly, but what we'll let it do is process this. Now, email is weird because you can't just use standard HTML. You've got to use HTML from like the 90s. Well, we have this underlying open source editor that allows you to take HTML, in this case from Paper, and then convert it to kind of this old school HTML that we're going to need in our Resend template. So you can see it's going to first of all ask for access using the Paper desktop plugin. This is using the MCP for Paper. Now Claude Code actually has an official plugin now with Resend, so we can use that. So once it grabs all the details it needs, it's going to ask for all this, and then it should port it on over. So let me let it do its work. I'll give it permissions as it needs, and then I'll be right back with you. All right, so it's still thinking, but I am back because it's invoked the skill for Resend, which comes packaged in with the Claude plugin. There's a bunch of skills we've created to help you build templates and send emails, and it's loaded that so it knows exactly what it has access to and can, for instance, take this code and convert it over. All right, now just to brag a little bit more on the MCP, notice here it's building this as a table-based email with HTML with reset URL as a variable. I didn't tell it to do that, but it intelligently figures out, okay, this is probably something that is going to change depending on the email. So here I'll use this plugin and say, yeah, create the template. It's going to do that inside of my Resend account. So let's let it finish its work before I interrupt it again. Okay, so it just finished. In fact, I shouldn't have stopped because it was right away, and it even gives me a preview link. I can command and click directly into this and open it up right here. You can see that it shows it here as a template, and I can preview it directly here. In fact, I can even send it to myself as well. Now, if you jump back out here, you'll notice that this one's set to draft, whereas all the other ones are not. Well, it looks like we've got one more here. And that's because you've got to publish these ahead of time. So you can work together with designers and developers and marketers all in the same document, and when you're ready, publish it, and you don't have to make any code changes. Simply publishing the new version of it, and we've got versioning as well, allows that new email to be sent out. Now you'll notice here it's got this split view, and that's because by default when you upload code, it keeps it as code. And if you want to actually use the editor over here, you have to actually come back and switch it to edit it visually. So we do the conversion process for you. And now once it's converted, anyone can interact with this just like you would with any other email. You come in here, change the different items. You can add this unsubscribe link, which you definitely would want to do here. You can even send it to yourself as a sample. So here I'm going to do something like auth, and we'll use updates. How about that? And we'll say reset your folio password. That all works. I'll probably get rid of this. It must have pulled that on over. And then we can actually come over here and test the email so we can see it in our own email. And notice I've even got this variable that I can test as well. So I'll say something like, let's just go resend.com. And this needs to, of course, be JSON. So let's pull this over right here and send myself a test. Now, if you've ever had to build out an email template for a designer before in code, you know just how frustrating this is. Now, the good thing here is not just that it looks good and then I can test it in my own email client. I can actually come in here and edit it if I want to as well, along with anyone else in my Resend team. But better than that, because we have these kind of underlying primitives that are used to converting old, HTML to old school HTML, you can be confident that this will actually look how it looks here in every email client. So we've created an email in Paper, and we're already ready to send it within Resend.
Yeah, it was even faster than I thought it was going to be. To everyone watching, we'd love to hear how you're using Paper and Resend in your workflow. So try them out together. And send us an email. The Resend email and the Paper email are both linked below. Of course, follow us on socials and subscribe to the YouTube channels. Maybe you'll see another collab. I don't know.
So Harcourt, are you ready to give up waiting on engineering to convert your email design into code?
I think I'll find a way to deal with it.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Happy emailing.
And happy designing.